try to build some kind of corner here with some games more than these statues. And I should play some games here just to spruce things up a bit. Let's see what I can come up with. Well, that's something I can do for now at least. I would like a proper game corner, but don't have the apartment for that. Anyway, moving on to the topic at hand. I'm gonna talk about, what was it? Oh yeah, difficulties. Not memory difficulties, as I seem to be having. I'm gonna talk about game difficulties. And more accurately, false difficulties, as I wanna call it, because this is something that has bothered me. Okay, it has bothered me in many games. And for example, you know when you're parading through a game, like you're killing everything, it's so easy, and then suddenly you come to a boss and it's like you're down, you're dead, you're defeated, and it's game over and you gotta restart, or maybe you have an extra life and you can continue at the boss or something. But those are, difficulty spikes. I don't like those. Difficulty spikes, I think a game should be consistent throughout, or more consistent at least. I think the bosses and the things you do before you end up at the boss that totally annihilates you, basically, the mobs before that should prepare you for that kind of encounter. But sometimes I don't feel they don't. Like, my best example is, I think, would be Diablo 2 and the newly released Minecraft Dungeons. Because Diablo 2 has bosses, like the end bosses, in each act, like Andoriel, Duriel, Mephisto, Diablo, and Baal. Now, Diablo and Baal are, well, they're hard, but they don't come as such of a sudden surprise that, oh my god, they're hard. Well, I mean, the game is literally named after that guy. He would be hard. And then we have Baal. I mean, he is the final boss of the entire game. It makes sense that he would be kind of strong, even though he's mostly annoying because he takes away all your mana. Anyway, Duriel, Andoriel, and Mephisto though. Mephisto, well, if you follow the lore, you can kind of follow why he is as strong as he is, but Duriel? My god, I hate Duriel. Take this for example. See what I mean? You end up in a kiting situation with these bosses. Like, kiting is, for those who doesn't know, is when you attack and run, attack and run, attack and run. Like, you attack, you use an ability or a basic attack to damage the boss or enemy, and then you run, and then you do some more, and then you run, and then you attack again. And you go back and forth. I guess that's mostly because of Diablo 2's, I should say. Diablo 2's mechanics. If they had like a dodge button, it would be kind of a different thing, except for Duriel, because he would run up to you and strike you so fast that you wouldn't even have time to blink. That's another problem. But Duriel is quite the difficulty spike, because before that you only encounter smaller mobs that like are very easy. I also encountered this problem with Diablo 1. The game is fine. I mean, I played Hunter or whatever the ranged bow class is, and it was fun. There are some limits to the game, of course, but it was fun. Until I encountered the Skeleton King and he kicked my ass faster than I could say whoopsie. I did not like that. It was quite a difficult spike because I had only encountered smaller mobs and they were like 1 or 2 hits, maybe 3. And then suddenly I came, oh, what's down here? Oh, Crypto Skeleton King, let's go down there and check. And then suddenly he comes and he hits me 1 time and I think over half my HP just disappeared. I managed to flee. Well, I had to drink a health potion first, then I managed to flee. But no, I don't like those kinds of difficulty spikes that just suddenly pops up. Because I don't know how to explain this actually. I guess I should have prepared, but I didn't know what to write down when I did this, when I started thinking about this video. But I don't like them because I think the game should prepare you for an encounter properly. And not just like, oh, you're at the correct level at least, go in there. Because Grim Dawn is another game that's Diablo-like. It's the top-down camera and it's a hack and slash. And the first real big boss you come across, I think it's like 10 levels higher than you. At least. Something around there, right? Because the mobs before him I kind of killed somewhat kind of easy. And then I encountered him and he 2 hits me, I think. It was some time ago since I played that boss, so I can't really remember all the details. But I do remember that he was much higher level than me and all the other mobs that I encountered before him. So I don't get it. Why is he such a higher level than me and the other mobs? Because of course he's a boss, he should be stronger. That's, well, fairly obvious. But still, it's not something I like because it doesn't prepare you for that. I mean, and then we have the problem with being a ranged character and a melee character. I feel like that a melee character has so much disadvantages. A ranged character generally has less HP, of course, but they can also rain destruction down on foes and they can also kite bosses much easier than a melee character who can't do that. They can only run towards that boss and hit him and then, well, then you better hope that you're not gonna get 1 hit by it. I mean, that's why I don't play Dark Souls, because Jesus Christ. I don't think I could survive a million deaths. Well, not my sanity could. My sanity could not survive that. I can barely survive, my sanity can barely survive the world as it is. Anyway, I think Diablo 2, 1 and 2 did this not too good. Unturtle is, well, if you play a druid, elemental druid, I mean, Fisher. And then Unturtle is dead. Play a summoner necromancer. that's a totally different story because your skeleton is gonna get one hit by Andoriel's poison cloud thingy. And then we have, of course, as for melee characters against Mephisto in Diablo 2, I mean, poison cloud all around him, then you see your health. Ding 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 ding. Then you're down at 1 health because poison can't kill you, and then he hits you with, well, anything. And then you're dead. And then, of course, we can't forget, of course, he has his lightning and his ice ball that he can fire at ranged characters, but, I mean, you can, if you just keep moving, he could miss you. Well, I say could, because damn they can aim in those games. But let's move on to Diablo 3, because I think Diablo 3 did this scaling much better, because I think that's mostly because down to the difficulty levels they have. Because you have, oh, what is it? Yeah, it starts at normal, and then it comes hard, expert, and master, and then all the torment levels up to 16 now. I think they did it much better, because even at the start, if you're doing a new season character, you can start at level 1 and with nothing else, but you can still play on hard and maybe even move up to expert after a short while. If you're playing with friends, you should almost start at expert, because it becomes so much easier, even if enemies become excuse me even if enemies become stronger when there are more players in the game. I mean, it's not that much that it will make such a difference that you will be, oh no! It's much more like, oh shit. Well, in my opinion, that is. But they balance this very well, because when you face the Skeleton King the first time in that game, I mean, he's difficult, but it's not like he's gonna 1-hit you or 2-hit you, unless you, maybe if you stand in his charged attack, but I mean, dodging is, or avoiding is kind of easy, as opposed to Andoriel and Duriel and Mephisto, because especially if you're a melee character, I mean, it's hard to dodge something that's coming from this range. Anyway, I think the difficulty spikes is not a good thing in games. I think a difficulty should be consistent. A melee character in the newly released Minecraft Dungeons, for example, when you meet the end boss, he shoots out 4 lasers in 4 different directions. If you're a melee character, there is a risk that you will get hit by 2 of those lasers at the same time, because you're so close to him, and they're a bit, for some reason they shoot out very closely together from the center, so you can get a hit by 2 of them, and you're not even gonna have a chance to blink before your health is down. Depending on your items, I guess, but I'm not a big fan of Minecraft Dungeons because of the very, very random loot and very random things you get, even abilities artifacts, as they call it, are random. I don't like that. It's not. It doesn't feel like a dungeon crawler when everything is so random that the only thing that's not random is. You know what? I don't think everything is so random. Well, except you have a bow. That's about it. The weapons you use are random. The abilities you use are random. Well, randomly dropped, that is. And the armor and such things are also random. So, yeah, random. Anyway, let's move on from Minecraft Dungeons before I lose my mind. I said anyway, quite a lot this video, I think. Okay. Well, I think that's gonna end my ramble here, because I don't know what more to say about the difficulty spikes. I don't like them, because I don't think that... To sum up, I think a game should prepare you for a final boss, a final encounter, with maybe having similar abilities, or at least making the boss not have so much health. I mean, it should be stronger, but making them stronger in both health and so much stronger in both health and damage is kind of, it's annoying. I mean, why not you can have them stronger in health and damage without putting it to the max at every single boss fight. I mean, if you want hard games, you can play hard games, but putting it in, I mean, I want to say ordinary games, but I mean, games that everyone is interested in is kind of, I mean, I lose interest in games where I encounter a boss that's 10 times or 10 times, 100 times harder than anything else I have fought before, because I keep dying. And when I finally defeat that boss, I don't feel like I defeated it because I became better. I feel like I defeated it because I had luck. Because, I mean, if you do something 100 times and you do it exactly this, or not exactly the same, but you change some things, maybe you find some new abilities, maybe you pick a new weapon up or something like that, maybe you gain a few levels, but it still doesn't feel like a 100% win. Of course, I don't want the bosses to die in one hit as soon as I see them, but I want a more balance that doesn't make me go, oh shit, there I died again. Huh. Well, that's gonna end my rant. What do you think? Am I talking, well, you know what I want to say, or am I making a little bit of sense? A little bit sense? Oh well, put your thoughts down in the comments. And I've been Swippy92, and I hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.